Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to this Relationship Thursday, where normally we discuss something about relationships. So today we will discuss something about a relationship. So the thing that I want to discuss is that I want you to know that this is a follow-up video about something that I told you last week. Now, I just want to see just how much y'all listen to me, especially the ones that keep coming back and was here last week. But for those of you that's new, you never know where I'm going to give a pop quiz. So, okay, last week I told you something. Now you stand by and then I'm going to tell you what I told you and I'm going to tell you what I did about it. So, okay, my name is Sheila Rollins and I am the founder of H.U.L.A Ministries Entertainment and Associates Inc. And on this YouTube, we are Overcomers Anonymous, where we support anyone desiring to overcome everything. We do it with Jesus Christ being a higher power and also what he's accomplished for us on the cross. Therefore, our wholeness, our cleanliness, our completeness, our forgiveness, the things that we thought were impossible becomes possible with Jesus Christ being our higher power. However, in order for us to take full advantage of all that he's offering, we must be obedient to his word. And I encourage the King James Version because it's what he encouraged me. The Ten Commandments, including the fourth commandment, where he admonishes us to keep the seventh-day Sabbath. These things are binding on us for eternal life. The arrow next to the title is the description. All this information I just gave you is in there. Also included in there is the topic scriptures for the video for today. And also my contact information if you'd like to support us by purchasing the vegan meat alternatives and sides, non-dairy ice cream, and other desserts. They are fundraisers to help keep the YouTube and a nonprofit going. So afterwards, if you want to comment after looking at the scriptures, you can scroll down below the title and you can make a comment on anything. Okay, you can ask a question. You can say whether or not you agree with the video. You can add more to the video if you like. Add your 2 cents. Or you can just say hello. Okay, so either way, I'd like to hear from you. Okay, so all right. All right, so last week, okay, before I say that, comment down below what you think if you remember what I told you last week. Okay? Okay? 1, 2, 3. While you at it, why don't you just share your video too? Encourage subscription so more people can come and listen to what I have to say right now. So go ahead and share the video, okay? While we're waiting for you to comment. So, okay. So last week, I told you that God told me to ask a question to my aunt's niece, and I froze. And I didn't do it. After saying, when I had disobeyed another time, that I wasn't going to disobey no more. But I didn't think that he would bring something on me spare of a moment. What difference does it make? Obeying is obeying, disobeying is disobeying, right? Okay, but today I did it. So I was watching out the window and I saw her nurse outside. So I was waiting for her to come in. It took a minute for her to come in. So when I saw her put a mask on, I figured she was going to come in. So I went out and met her because I wanted to have a conversation apart from my uncle and aunt hearing. So anyway, so I popped a question. First, she was like, "Girl, you scared me. You scared me. Why you scared me like that?" I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Because, imagine how it looked. She's coming there to take care of my aunt. Okay, she's her RN. So I comes out and I had this serious look and all that kind of stuff. So you can imagine what she thought. And I said, "Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think of that would scare you. I didn't even think about that part. I was just trying to obey God." And I began to tell her that God had told me to ask you this question last week. And I got afraid. I felt like I wasn't ready, so I didn't do it. So here I am this week ready to obey. So, all right. Did you comment down below what you thought it was? So, okay, if you guessed that it was, I had to ask her if she knew any single Christian men. That's what I had to ask her. And she said, Africans, yeah, I know some. I think she said our age. And I said, I'm 63 years old. She's like, you're 63? Yes. She's like 42. I said, now listen, my daughter's 48, 47, 48. My daughter's 48. So what that look like? I being with somebody, basically my son's age. My son is almost 40. He's 39. So what I look like being with somebody 3 years older than my son, you know? And then I was starting to think about it, right? And I was like, okay. I said, she said basically she keep an eye out. She couldn't really think of anybody right now, like older, her age, yeah, which she thought was my age, right? And I was like I got all this gray hair, and you thought I was 42. But then she was saying that, today basically that's kind of normal. Some of the young people are coloring their hair gray, but she said I have a young face. Okay. So I got into my diet a little bit. That could be account for some of it, my lifestyle. I do exercise, I walk, I lift weights, and all of that. So, but anyhow, I started thinking about like, is this how I'm going to meet my husband? Because I already feel like I'm in a new surrounding, like taking care of my uncle and aunt in a neighborhood that I have to go in and stuff like that. It's a new surroundings for me. And I know that, um, like I said, based on like where I am, what I'm doing, or whatever, I'm going to meet my husband. And then I want to bus a lot. Now, for years I had my own car. I had an accident, I think in 2019. I wasn't ready to drive. I actually had 3 accidents in 7 months. And so I had um, anxiety really, really bad. So I couldn't drive. Okay. I was barely riding somebody's car in there screaming and hollering and stuff because they keep the speed limit. And anyway, but I was saying to her, I was like, I don't really know. I mean, it could just be that the Lord was looking for me to obey, like, making sure that whatever it is that He's telling me to do, that I'm doing it. So I'm saying, I don't really know. But the thing about knowing, though, if it's true that that is the way that I would meet my husband, is that I get a chance to like settle within myself. Like, she's African. Like if he's African, like just what I feel about that, have a conversation with God, you know what I mean? To let God know like how I feel good about it, my misgivings about it, whatever the situation is, that I can talk to God to when it comes to the point where I actually meet him. He's not, I'm not giving off vibes like I'm rejecting him. You know what I'm saying? Like I will come to the point where just like accepted to obey, I can come to the point where I accepting that this is God's will. He's not the way that you used to, a bad boy. He may not dress that way, a whole lot of things, but this is God's will for you. So I think for that reason, it's a great thing. But like I've already told you, whether he's African, European, flat faced Chinese, if God says it's my husband, I'm going to marry him. Point blank, period. Okay. So basically, I had to tell you that about me obeying beings that I told you last week that I disobeyed God and I didn't ask her. So, how did I feel in asking her? It's been a week. So, I got a chance basically like to calm down. So, I'm not really into a lot about like how people feel or how they what they think about me. I'm not real. I really am not. You know, and based on the fact that I've been in many friendships and relationships where I couldn't be myself. Um, there's no better person for me to be, and it didn't even pay off. It didn't benefit me being somebody else. So now it's like, look, I'm gonna be me. I get one life to live on this earth just like everybody else. When is it okay to be me? So I didn't care what she thought. You know what I mean? I just didn't. I didn't care what she thought, whatever. The reason why I didn't um, do it last week, like I said, it was a whole lot of reason. You know, feeling and looking desperate. You know what I mean? It was like spare the moment. I'm talking to the woman and Lord say, ask her this. I'm like, for real, God, But anyway, I trust God no matter what. I trust Him. So this is all I have for you. I love you. Hope this was beneficial. If you're in a situation where I am, where you're waiting for your spouse and, the Lord hasn't brought them yet, and, you're in situations where God is telling you what to do, looking for you to obey so He can bring you to your spouse. If He say turn left and your husband is around the corner or your wife is around the corner, you need to turn left, like He said. So if you're in that predicament too, comment down below and let me know how you're doing. So, all right, I love you. This is all I have for you. Check out my other YouTube, which is The Pursuit to Christ. The playlist on both YouTubes, okay? And then remember to share both, encourage subscription, and remember to subscribe yourself. Now, to Him that is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of His glory with exceeding joy. To the only wise God, our Savior, be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and ever. I love you. See you in the next YouTube.